A Place to Bury Strangers Hologram EP. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? Johnny everyone's spinning here to chat about this latest from A Place to Bury Strangers, New York-based band who in their early days blew my speakers and kind of blew my mind. Still to this day, their self-titled debut album, one of my favorite modern debuts. Instantly, the band had a sound that was fascinating to me. They blended shoegaze, post-punk, noise rock, experimental rock, all with a very goth-friendly background. And while not a crowd favorite, I thought their very grisly, looming, more dangerous sounding follow-up Exploding Head was really good too. But ever since, I feel like A Place to Bury Strangers has gotten a little bit of a bad reputation, and I can't help but agree. Their follow-up album, Worship, is not a good album. All the interesting influences that went into this band all of a sudden were gone, and in its place was just a series of very average, very plain Jane post-punk tracks. This goes double for their next album, Transfixation. Why is this album just so average? I mean, Deeper's good. What We Don't See is really good, but everything else about this album was not good. And Pinned, when it came out, was on my list of least favorite albums that year. This band went from trailblazing and being a real pioneer for the new generation of post-punk and noise rock to being quite possibly the most average band out there in a few short years. Now, here we are with this new EP, Hologram, and from the sound of these singles leading up to it, it kind of reminded me of everything I once loved about these guys, and let me tell you, the rest of this EP does a lot more of that. I think this is the band's best set of songs since Exploding Head. This EP starts off with End of the Night, and this is a real fine start. The pacing on this track is fantastic. I love the bulky riff. I love how modern this sounds as well. Like, for a while, I don't know, how nicely to put it, the band just didn't sound good. But this is much more grim. It's very gothic at points, and you know what? That kind of reminds me of what brought me to A Place to Bury Strangers in the first place. Just so muscular. It sounds like it's gonna make my speakers explode at any second, and that excites me. Then we have I Might Have, and let me tell you, I didn't expect this to be so freaking raw. This is noisy, this is a little gothy, and it's completely off the rails sounding. It's also really commanding, where did this come from? How did they get this EP so right? This is one of the best singles I've heard from them in years. Playing the part, on the other hand, is good enough to be a single. I love the throwback post-punk and goth rock sounds here. It's so ghoulish, it's haunting, incredibly catchy, and it's just so obvious. I think about back to albums like Pinned with all these super cheesy and classless nods to gothic rock and trying to be so hip and just falling so short. And then I hear this. How did this get so right so quick? Instantly, the band just seems to have new life. And In My Hive is easily the darkest and most twisted thing I've heard from them in years. I love the winding riff. I love the commanding performances. The instrumental just seems to be unwinding and rewinding just constantly. It's a weird one, but between the risks and the performances, I'm genuinely very impressed. Once again, also, it's just catchy enough to really stick with you, especially that guitar line. And outside of that, this is just a sonic, noisy, post-punk journey. Cheers to that. I mean, it's nothing wild or new, but this is easily their best written set of tracks in years. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think I Need You is a bit of a red flag, actually. A big red flag. Truthfully, I had high hopes for it. I love that groove it starts off with, and that airy riff and those plucked guitars. All that's just fine. But lyrically, this falls apart really fast. As a matter of fact, it exposes a lot of the band's weaknesses in that area. It's also just a little too hazy, a little bit too shoegazy for me. This track just morphs into something that I'm not interested in at all by the end of it. I just feel like they could do more. The rest of this EP proves it. So, truthfully, is this anything wild, new, or exciting in post-punk? No. But is it a band that has taken post-punk and noise rock and shoegaze and all these other genres in the past, done wonders of them, kind of taking a step back and really, taking a breath of fresh air to these genres once again? I think it is. I think this is their best set of tracks since Exploding Head years ago. It's been a while since I've actually even been able to sit through A Place to Bury Strangers album or EP or anything. And here we are with 4 tracks back to back that are really, really solid. And you know what? I worry about hearing an album like this. I don't know if they could pull it off. Maybe they could. Maybe they couldn't, but I'm certainly back more in the graces, the good graces, that is, of A Place to Bury Strangers. I'm feeling a light 8 on this EP. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.